Just pretend you don't have it on. Wait, do it again.
Then I forget the end. Oh, peace.
Come on, girl. What is it?
Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, no matter what you drive.
There you go.
This is your all-terrain nation. Peace.
What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these ugly-ass hats you're forced to wear on your podcast. This is your all-terrain nation podcast presented by nobody, but we do have somebody
in the
potentially
gates
down the road. So what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. It's weird. The intro's gone. I got to come up with something else because I feel like it builds up my energy. I get the energy going for this, and suddenly it's like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, Jason Leopold, don't read the chat while you're driving because we're going to discuss somebody that did that in Total McLaren today.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're going to want to talk about.
I got a heads up that was coming, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yes. So if you are new to the channel, and some people will be new to the channel because we're changing up a little bit. Ford Talk Live is gone away for a while because manufacturers that we deal with are like, hey, we're not giving you access to vehicles till you include us in some of your goofiness. So guess what? We're going to talk everything now, but you guys know where our heart lies. We love our Ford Broncos and are definitely going to Mark King. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. We're going to get into why I'm wearing this in a minute too. But Papa wanted me to wear this hat, I guess. But so I want to just give a little background. If you're new to the channel, my name is David Boyd. I'm an auto journalist, and alongside Miss Kelly Boyd here, who is the one waving her hands like jazz hands there. This is I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and Kelly's been about 4 years with me now doing this. And Allie over there, who is Ford certified, we're going to say that she's ready to go. She sells Ford. She moves metal for a living, and she sells Ford product, and she's been covering some events with us. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but we're going to deal with everything now. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And we got a couple topics tonight that we're going to talk about, which first off is no 100%. This was not my idea. Matter of fact, let's just let's go ahead and get rid of that.
I tried to make it a flat bill, and he told me you just can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I told her
bought him a hat.
The Cali life doesn't live with me, but we've got some good topics tonight we're going to talk about. But as always, you guys know we have to do this.
All right. So those of you that are joining the channel newly, we do an intro where I say hello to everybody who has said hello to us.
And I'm trying a new bottle.
And Maya has her armadillo, so I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. Jefferson's bourbon. So I'm kind of interested to try this out. Right. But Kelly, say hi to the people.
Yeah, so we've got Rob Hallmark in the house. Let's see. Hypermotive Racing and Steve P. Steve, so funny thing about our daughter says
we literally look like alcoholics.
We do look like alcoholics, but this is the first bottle that Steve sent to me, so that tells you how much I've drank of it or brought to me. But our daughter goes, "Why do you have this? Why do you have a gallon of alcohol on the desk?" And I said, "Well, one of our amazing viewers gave that to me. Wanted to make sure that I kept up."
Steve, I'm
you don't have a gallon of alcohol under your desk? Come on now.
Right. And then she says, and then Dave said, well, she needs it to deal with me. And so I think I probably need to drink more of it.
Dr. Steve prescribed.
Yes. So anyway, Steve P checking in from Phoenix, Erich Jefferson. And let's see.
Hopefully it's not like scalding hot in Phoenix right now.
I know. Jonathan Falls checking in this evening. Kevin Hawthorne checking in from Lakeland. Hey, be safe because I know it's heading
Florida,
hurricane. Yeah,
get out of there.
Yeah,
that's the international airport there in Tampa shut down. People are scrambling either to get to Miami or just get northern Florida. So yes, please be safe out there. And if you're listening and driving, honk.
Bud Guy 8829 checking in this evening, and of course Jason Leopold. We know you're driving, so we said don't don't chat while you listen. Just
Okay,
listen.
don't text and drive.
Have to deal with us.
Don't read and drive.
No responses to us right now. So Valley Dude 5000 checking in this evening. Michael Cooper, Jenna Tippy. Hey, welcome in. Douglas Blair. And let's see, Mark King, of course, we have in the house talking about all of Dave's dad's hat. Gia Hogue says, it's my 2-year ATN anniversary.
I saw that. I saw
welcome,
that, Gia.
Welcome for 2 years.
And what she's talking about is membership.
Yes,
We've done membership for, I guess, about 2 years now here on the channel. And yeah, you guys have helped support us, and we really appreciate that. And while we're talking about this, if you were on Patreon, if you're a Patreon member, you knew about the changes of the show 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh,
so they get some insight that what was coming, and it was going to happen
a little
last
earlier.
week, but we were dead tired from a 4-day press trip.
And then I rolled into another event. So
yes.
So Douglas Blair says, love Allie. She has a great YouTube channel too. So yes, check out Allie DeBoyce on YouTube as well. And then Broken Lizard 03.
Allie, you get someone to sell your face.
Yeah.
Outside.
There you go. Bronco
Trying to eat dinner.
Bronco 78 checking in this evening. Alcione Ford, where our Bronco Rebecca is at. If you are looking for a Bronco, she has ours. A decked out Bronco. It's got a lot of upgrades.
We didn't pull too much off that.
No, we didn't. Let's see. And TN Code Monkey checking in from Chattanooga. Ryan Woolman. Josh Hamilton checking in this evening as well.
Mr. Offroadeo himself.
Ragnar Khan. And let's see, Jack Evans. Hello.
Jack Evans, did you see my Reds got a good manager finally? Pretty excited by that.
Unbridled Bronco checking in as well. And let's see. Yeah, Hypermotive Racing says, get the girl a napkin.
Yeah,
I'm done eating. I ate my dinner in like 15 minutes.
We needed like a fake windshield wiper to come across the screen there, like to get that little bit off your face.
Yep.
But yeah, so tonight we've got 3 good topics we're going to talk about. And first off, I want to talk about is
off-rodeo.
That is right. So we're gonna, since we've been a Ford channel, we're gonna lead this off with some Ford news.
We got our swag.
And yeah, I threw my swag way over there because it's awful. But and you paid a lot of money for that.
I did.
That 3 minutes of
maybe we'll give it away.
Maybe. I don't think
because somebody will like it more than you will because you're a hater.
Somebody's we will give it away to one of we'll put in a random thing for our members.
That's what I was
Patreon.
Thinking. We'll do members and Patreon giveaway.
So we'll do that. And we're gonna kick in some members chats again coming up. My daughter's been itching to talk to you guys, so but we're going to kick this thing off with Bronco Off-Rodeo. So if you guys, if you own a Ford Bronco, you're going to want to know this because we did a couple of months ago, we were at the launch of the Bronco Sport, the new Bronco Sport refreshed. And they talked about, it was at the Ford Bronco of potential. Well, I won't say potential, I guess the being built version of the Tennessee Offroadeo. And Ford really pushed the fact that, hey, the southern region was not being serviced by our off-rodeos, and that wasn't because they didn't want to, because I know for a fact they were trying to work Windrock Park in East Tennessee. They could never get that to work out properly, so they found a farm in Maryville, Tennessee, which is really cool because it's only maybe 20 minutes away from where Supercell East is held.
Yeah, super close.
So and literally, Allie, how close was the airport?
Oh my God, 20 minutes if that.
I told you.
It was 10 minutes actually, because I remember putting in our GPS, even with traffic that morning, it was 10 minutes to the site.
Well, because then I got like nervous because I didn't want to leave. Like, I just love.
We had some major FOMO as we were leaving site.
Oh my God, I was so sad. So like, I just love the environment and the people and just like, we'll talk more about it, but like you have another family like by the time that you're leaving the day. So like we're getting to know anybody and like our trail guides were awesome and like we were joking the entire day. And it's like as soon as like it was like the end of the day, like we all start packing up and like listen, I'm used to Detroit where like you have to go to the airport 2 hours early and like you're lucky if you make your flight on time. And it's like my flight was like boarding at 7:30. I didn't leave until like 6:45. So I'm just like, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, well, I'm missing my flight. Like, there's no way. But I was literally there, checked in like half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I boarded. I'm like, oh, like that wasn't so bad.
Well, they've made it super convenient. Like this
Mhm.
has to be the most convenient off-rodeo there is if you want to get kind of in and out and not deal with. Some people want to maybe spend a day or two in a town that it's in.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, I need to get in and out, like this is the
Tennessee
perfect
is
one
your
for that.
location.
So we got to see it when it was being constructed,
Mhm.
the place, and the building looked really nice from what we saw. Of course, you ladies got to go in it, which was really cool.
It was amazing.
But a few weeks, I guess about 3 weeks ago or so, Ford invited us out to cover this for our publication, as it were. And Allie's been itching to do a trip, so you guys know. You guys know I have little to zero interest in the off-rodeos.
Which is why we were going to get him a shirt that said,
I'd rather be at off-rodeo.
Right.
But it was on the back of the shirt, and it wouldn't have been as funny.
No, but
unless we made him wear the shirt backwards, at least for the show.
I considered it.
But I've done one of them in the Vegas one, the Raptor course there, which was really fun. That was, I will say, I mean, I understand they do a good program, and when I say I have no interest, it's just because old off-roader doesn't want to learn new tricks.
If Nate's watching, I told you, didn't I?
I was about to say, we talked about this in the Bronco.
Ken the same thing. We told Ken the same thing. It was like my husband would just be a Debbie Downer if he was here. So it's best.
No, I would participate and have fun.
You would participate, but you wouldn't be learnable.
You wouldn't take something away because I'm very lucky with working at a dealer because I have had 2 extra chances to go because I work at a dealer. So it's like, yes, I have been to Texas 3 times. This was my 4th time going, but 2 were because 1, dealer preview. 2nd, we won some dealer contest thing. I can't remember what it was. But then there was I guess technically it was 5. Because then I had ladies day.
Fancy. Okay, we take back your Bronco off-rodeo experience.
Yeah, then I had Michigan Bronco Club, and then I had this one for your guys' media trip.
So clearly you were the perfect person for All Terrain Nation to send to help cover this event.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I take away something every single time, and I preach off-rodeo just because I have learned so much from them. It's I'm not trying to brag. I just had to
says now she's just bragging.
Hey, I know people have gone more than me, so.
And I would agree with you, Allie. There was actually, I'll be honest, I can't remember what it was I learned on this trip, but there was something that I actually learned about the Bronco that I hadn't learned at another.
You had talked about a little bit.
No, it wasn't that. It was literally something you could do with the truck, and I can't remember. But I'll use it on my next trip. I just don't remember which part of it was that I kind of learned this time around. But you learn something as long as you go in willing to take in the information and be willing to do new things. I know.
Sometimes be present.
Yes. Yeah, you absolutely have to be present. And I know that Allie, they told us that we were the first group that got to do this crazy obstacle. And I even told Dave after the fact, I was like, if we'd have been off-roading and he'd have told me I was about to do this, I would have told him that's not happening. Somebody else can drive it, because I don't like off camber, and you literally there's a hill here and there's a rock way down here that you're supposed to just wedge in between. And they're like, don't worry, you just use your trail sights and you're just going to put your tire right there. It'll be fine. And you're just like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And you get through it and you're like, I totally accomplished that.
I'm not going to lie. I had major jealousy that you got to do that one, because I was so pumped for you. And we had a girl that was from North Carolina.
Yes.
That she reminded myself so much of me when I first went, because I'm talking I didn't know what a locker was. I didn't know any of this stuff. And here I have to sell this car.
Yep.
That has this, and I'm just thank God they sent it to me, because I would have no idea of any of this stuff. Because again, the off-road life was not for me. I never got into it. I was never interested in it. I heard of people going, and I'm I just thought it was people doing mud bog shit.
100%.
Honestly. That was my impression. Not knowing the community aspect of it, and just everything I've learned.
Yeah.
So it's I saw her be so, and like me and Kelly, even at one point, were like, we were just gonna push her to volunteer, just because like we knew what the ORX course was and like what they were talking about, and it's like you just gain so much knowledge from that, and then you take everything that you learned, and you go right to the trail. So like,
and we didn't want to take that like learning opportunity from those that had never done it before. So yeah, like Allie said, we both looked at each other at one point and we were like, all right, it's your turn. It's your turn to go.
Push her, like, go. So it was so cool because then like we broke for lunch. And she was so pumped, and she was just like yelling and screaming, like ready to go out for like the second round, which that was so cool watching some of these people's confidence like gain throughout the day. And that's like what I loved about it. Yeah, that's what I did to Jenna. I literally like forced her to like volunteer and go.
Well, so this was your official first press trip that you got to go to. So, and there was some people there. Laura with Bronco Nation was there. So there was a few people that you knew, but there was a lot of influencers that got to go to this thing, and some of our journalist friends. Overall, I know they wine and dine you a little bit, so they took y'all to dinner, and you kind of, which is kind of good, especially with new media that Allie may not know, is you kind of get have a drink, get introduced to everybody. Our friend Mercedes, she took a fun picture of you at dinner, which was cool. But past like the experience for you, because you had to be back at work the next day. Like this was,
we both had to.
Allie got a good taste of what we go through sometimes. Of like, okay, we got to go there. 12 hours. I got to be back, and I got to do my day job too. What was some of the takeaways, Allie? Obviously the off-roading is fun, but what was some of it, since this is kind of your first press trip that you got to do, what is a good takeaway?
Is honestly talking to everybody and like meeting different aspects of like what people cover, like where they come from, like what their knowledge is of off-roading. There was one guy there that wasn't an off-roader in automotive at all. That was the photography trip for him. So, and Kelly knows what I'm talking about. So it was just
one
like
guy changing outfits on the trail.
That's who we're talking about.
Yeah, so that was a little wild to see that. But no, it was great. I just think that like, I don't know. It just kind of gave me like a whole other thing of like why people should go. And like why customers need to take advantage of this. Because I screenshot a bunch of posts of, there was a lot of people I saw that went to the opening weekend.
No, that I was surprised how many people that I've seen going, hey, I'm and some people I seen Dwayne with Driven Wild, like they can't get until December.
Yeah.
And Jack said he's going in December.
Yeah, isn't Jack going in December?
Yeah, that's what he said.
So like I saw a bunch of people. I had like 2 or 3 people. So I'm like screenshotting these and sending them to some of the crew members that I know that like help run this. And I was just like, everyone's having a fit. Cause like if you're working these locations, like you want to know like the good, the bad, like what's going on. It's like everything was so positive.
100%.
Everything was like great reviews. And it's like, it's not just us saying it because we went on a press trip.
Right.
It's people going there for the first time, and now they respect their Bronco a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if you and I talked about this, Allie, but I was talking with Kelsey with Ford about this as the day went on. So when you go to Texas, at least when I went to Texas, I'm sure it's probably still the same. Texas gives you a very intro, like they both give you, or they all give you the basics of like, here's what your vehicle can do. Here's the parts of the vehicle. These are the parts that the vehicles do. This part does this. They work together. They give you all that. But Texas actually took you from easy to moderate to difficult. In Tennessee, I feel like not scarily moderate, but like put you into moderate quickly, like a comfortable moderate. And then you were in more difficult terrain as the day went on. So it still eases you up, but I appreciated that we got, and that's coming from an avid off-roader. Like I say we do a lot of off-roading. We'd like to do more, but you know, you're gradually getting up, even no matter what location you're going to. But I do feel like you kind of ramped up a little quicker in Tennessee than you did.
So
with Texas.
You ladies got to get in the Bronco Sport as well, right?
We did right before lunchtime. So Allie took the meadow, as they call it. I would call it a meadow cross, essentially, is what it was. She took the full-size Bronco through the meadow cross, and then I took the Bronco Sport through the meadow cross. And I think she was jealous that I took the meadow cross or the Sport, because the Sport, I'll be honest, guys, was
handled so good.
Oh my gosh, it was so much more fun than the full size, going through all of the different things, because the vehicle really does respond like
a little lower.
It is, and it just responded. It took the bumps like better than honestly the full size Wild Track that we did. It was an overall great experience. And I know our daughter is going to kill me for saying this, but I was very impressed with the Bronco Sport on this trip.
Well,
for sure.
Same.
Well, so you got they did an all-day event, right? They did lunch, and I think you guys got a sampling of lunch. We know the place the lunches are coming from is one of our favorite places over there.
Yeah, so I actually was talking to them at location, and I said, hey, one of the biggest questions we get is about food. You know, what kind of, is there going to be consistency in what the food is? And so what they told me is that it is going to all be catered from the Abbey in Townsend. So if you've been to Bronco Supercell East.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yes. So it's actually the Abbey that does it. And Kelsey told me that it's actually the Abbey that's going to be doing all
I
their
think
catering.
There's an Abbey in Maryville as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think there is. But yeah, so the Abbey is actually going to do all their stuff. Great food. Fries. Yeah. No, different place.
But just so y'all know, Townsend is also right down the road.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely right down the road.
Which I think for Supercell East, of course, there's nothing out there just yet, but I think that they'll somehow work all this in together. And I think it's going to be, even if you're going for Supercell East, I would try to, Allie, you know the dates because you help with Supercell East, the dates for next year. So if you're wanting to get into maybe get some training while you're in for Supercell East,
and stay tuned for some stuff.
There's nothing official yet, but it has been mentioned, so we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, so the food, they serve you lunch and dinner. We were told that wasn't exclusive just to us as press, so they are serving you lunch and dinner from the Abbey. There's sandwiches and there was salad and stuff like that. So there's a great meal.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have meal restrictions and stuff like that, you can definitely let them know ahead of time.
Yeah, they definitely ask.
As you go in.
But thanks, Rob, for the 423 through 426. So maybe you can get in the day before or sometime that weekend. I definitely would recommend it. And I think you're going to come back to the show through the show of Supercell East, and just you're going to be blown away by the way these things are.
So Jack, I'm glad you asked that question. So Jack says, can you drive the Bronco Sport before lunch and then drive the Bronco after? So here's what was different for our experience versus what your experience is going to be. If you own a Bronco Sport and you're going to Bronco, or if you're going to off-rodeo, you're going to get a Bronco Sport experience. Yeah. So you will only drive a Bronco Sport.
Because of press being over there, they give you a sampling of the whole, what the place has to offer, is why Kelly and them got to be in the sports a little bit.
And so if you're going for a full-size Bronco, you'll get a full-size Bronco all day. So yeah, so like Dave said, we got a little sampling of everything because they wanted to give us a little bit of a taste of what everything was going to kind of be for that. So it is going to be definitely Bronco Sport friendly trails and not necessarily the same ones that we drove, but so you won't get the same exact experience that we did, but from a food perspective and other experiences.
When we covered the Raptor off-rodeo in Vegas, trust me, we didn't get a half of what those guys got when you go out there with your Raptor, because they took us out to, we had very limited time. Ford they had a couple groups that were pushing through, and we got to go experience the kind of Ultra 4 course and the jump, and that was about it. Then it was like 2 hours back to drive back to from there, which bummed me out because they had a whole rock crawling section they're doing with the Raptors, which I would have really liked to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, and I think they've realized that was kind of a short period of time for things, and because ours was supposed to be an initial kind of half day experience, but then they expanded it to a full day experience, which I think really gives you that full experience for us to tell you what to expect.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how originally, because I think originally the first flight I was like flying out at like 4.
Yeah.
And like now looking back and like actually going through the whole day, because like I've done the whole day before and it's like I know, but it was just like the whole day was just like amazing. Like I had like major FOMO leaving. Like
100%.
I got super sad at the airport just because like again, I think I can't remember who commented it. I think it was
Steve P.
Was it CP? Yeah, here we go. So like it's just kind of incredible like what Bronco has created, and it's like I now have like a whole new group of friends that like, let's be honest, some of them are just more supporting than even like current people in my life. And like no offense to the current people in my life, it's just like we just kind of connect kind of on a different level, and it's like this is now my family. Yeah. And it's like I get so sad leaving, like literally so sad. And I'm not a crier, and like it's sometimes when I leave some of these events, like I get sad. Like Supercell, I got super sad this year.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, and it didn't help our FOMO when all the folks that weren't leaving that night were actually talking about going to the bar at the hotel.
Oh yeah.
And gonna like carry on the party essentially. And we were just like, man, we're gonna miss out on all the things.
And for the record, Kelly and I had the party Bronco.
We did.
So the Raptor got to go to Bronco Offroadeo.
Yes.
It did.
So we took the Raptor to Bronco Offroadeo, but did not off-road, obviously, because they do lend you a vehicle for the day. But yes,
the Raptor would not have fit on those trails.
No, it would not have fit on those trails at all. And yes, we did actually. We were the tail gunners, and we were the party Bronco. Nate agreed. We even apologized several times, and Nate was like, "No, I'm in for it." So, and we were also told that we set the bar high of the drivers and guests. So just so you know,
well,
you got a high bar to represent folks.
Well, and I mean that's really cool that they kind of like those people love what they do.
Oh, 100%.
So, and this is at, I'm assuming, the exit, right?
So this is actually at the entrance. So this is the entrance right going in, but I took it coming out because I wanted that shot of the Bronco.
So that's the Raptor going through the gates, which they didn't have any of that up when we were there.
No, they didn't. So actually this is
this.
Okay, so I didn't tell you this part.
Funny part is we didn't see this.
So funny part is that we were leaving the hotel and we were going to be following the expeditions that the other attendees were in, but because I was driving my Bronco out, of course I had to follow them. And when I did, we lost them because 2 of them took off, and I thought there was another one, and there might have been, but we weren't waiting.
It was like another car. It was like it was a disaster of us.
It was kind of a mess. So anyway, I follow the instructions to the Bronco Sport event, which little did we know we were going in the back way.
Yeah.
And this is actually a little bit further up the road. So we literally go in the back way, and I'm like, there should be a sign here, all of this. So we get all the way up, and then Greg comes out and he's like,
you missed the best part. I'm like,
missed the best part. And we were like, I know. He's like, go back out, go to the main road, keep going. It's on the left-hand side. You'll know you're there. Yeah. And so sure enough, we did. I said, at least I was respectful on the property, like driving slow. He's like, yes, you were.
Kelly even saw a deer.
I did.
A doe, a deer, a female deer.
No, Kelly saw a buck.
My God, I didn't have an energy drink that morning. And so literally like we're driving in, and off to the right, I was like, oh wait, there's a deer. Oh no, it's not. It was a shooting deer.
Yeah. Oh my God, girl.
Right next to it.
So you saw a target deer.
Why
is it not moving?
But the thing, it was a full size. It was a full size shooting deer. It didn't look like it had been shot at very often, very much. But then we did actually see a deer a little bit further up.
There was a real one.
Well, I'm trying to pull up some.
So yeah, for those who are going, there is a sign next to the road.
Yes.
Of where to go.
Did you show that picture?
This picture?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there is a sign that you're looking for the entrance. So definitely follow the sign. to make your way to location.
And if y'all see a fake deer, you're going
Turn
the
around.
wrong way.
Right? You crazy ladies.
I was laughing so hard. It was it's Bambi's dad.
But I see they had the special little Sasquatch or the whatever Bronco sitting out there.
Yeah.
Very nice building. I remember where you were filming that. They were right there's where they're doing the Bronco Sport presentation.
And it's the exact same place they did the full size.
Yeah, but sweet area. The pond or the lake, I should say, is really cool.
The lake is incredible.
Any Easter eggs there we should know about? Anything special?
You just saw one.
Well, I know I saw that, but I'm saying.
I mean, I don't really want to give it away, but like,
I'm just. Are there things that people should start kind of looking for?
Yeah,
absolutely.
As you're pulling up, you'll spot a couple of things that are in a good spot.
Yeah, as you're driving up just pay attention as soon as you hit grounds.
Yeah.
Like that's what we'll leave you with that.
Well, good. Well, so out of the couple you ladies have been at, where does this one rank for you?
Oh, this is my favorite.
I'll be honest. I love Texas, and I honestly feel like Tennessee might beat it.
Yeah, and she did say that actually on the day.
I didn't want to for the longest time, and I'm kind of just like, yeah. I'm like, this one's close, like this one's close. But like by the end of the day, I was just like, and even Laura, she's like, I don't know, this might be my new favorite.
Yeah, and the reason I have to say and I told the Ford reps. So the thing that you'll notice now, guys, is that before Tennessee came in, it was not representing there was not an off-rodeo within 500 miles
correct
of everyone. So now with Tennessee Offroadeo, this adds this covers 80% of ownership are within 500 miles of an off-rodeo. So you have the ability to go, because I know that people in Kentucky have been started to post on, hey, has anybody been to Tennessee? And, things like that. So it's just opening up. You're just getting started. But what I love about this is that you get the trees and there's much. That's how it's different for me for Texas. Texas is very rocky. It's very,
like, I just think for us in like this region, I've heard great things about New Hampshire. I've never been to New Hampshire. I haven't had the chance to go.
Nikki went.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I feel like that is probably very close to Michigan terrain. Yes. But at the same time, like Tennessee was very close to Michigan terrain with a little bit more rock.
Yeah.
But not like overwhelming like Texas.
Yeah. And now someone had mentioned I'd be curious to know what it does in the winter. And I will tell you from experience, because Windrock is an hour down the road, essentially from there. We've wheeled in the winter, we've wheeled in the spring, we've wheeled in the summer, we've wheeled in the fall. And even I was talking to Ken, because our trail guide, who has actually done quite a bit at Windrock. And I told him, I said, yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what your trails do throughout the year. He's like, yeah, it's definitely going to change, because in our terrain down here, it could be a super easy trail on Friday, and then on Monday it's a little more challenging because you've got washout or things like that.
Which I told you, I was like, I'd be interested in a year from now how it's changed, because they'll have to concrete some stuff in. They're just going to have to lock it in if they want to keep.
Yeah, but they have so many acres that they can kind of just let things rest and let things be and like make new ones.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think they'll concrete anything. I'll just think like they'll let nature take its course and let some of it just go. But it was just, I mean, I have to, so we had Ken and Nate. And both of them absolutely fantastic. Like, I loved both of their personalities. They were very helpful. Like, Ken got on the radio several times, like, hey, please speak up if you need a spotter, if you need, like, we had a very great group of people, and like I think we got extremely lucky.
Just had some very experienced people in that group, along with some newer people. So that's
So it was a very good mix, because I think we all learned a ton of things. But he got on several times. He's like, "Hey, let me know if you need something. Like, you're not doing this alone. Like, just remember." And it was funny because like Kelly and I again, this is just from off-roading together, off-roading often. You leave space in front of the Bronco in front of you, and the guys that were in front of us were like,
we had a whole conversation
hey, like,
about
we
this.
don't see the girls behind us. Like, we see you. We're fine. Like, we're good. But thanks for checking in. Like, we're good. There's only like one time I think we kind of fell behind, but we're like, no, like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
But we also were the trail gunners. So we had the trail, one of the trail leaders. So we had the tail in our truck, Nate. And so we knew we weren't going to get anywhere we didn't need to be, but we also didn't want to. So here's the thing, for those that haven't been off-roading or haven't been to off-rodeo, speed is not the key. Like you go fast enough that you need to, but not too fast to damage the vehicle. And so that's kind of a thing too, in regards to that. So just kind of thinking about that. But yeah, let us know what questions you have about off-roading, even on the channel, on some of the videos. There's more content to come. We're just waiting for some more footage to come in from some of the other folks that collected footage essentially on the back of the truck in front of us, getting a lot of the stuff that we were doing. So we've got a lot more to come. Dropped a couple of shorts or reels, I guess I should say.
Teasers.
Just kind of some teasers along the way, but stay tuned. There's a lot more content coming.
Yeah. And Deal Me In for 24 has a good point here. It's a little late for many owners, which it is. And that is kind of a sad thing. And, you know, initially there was just Texas and the program was busy and they keep trying to expand it. And they'll eventually, you know, some people will come back to the Bronco and maybe get to with a new one, experience it. And some people don't. But guess what? Jeep really doesn't offer this. They used to have something
at the same time too, like if you had a 21, you had up until this year to use it.
Yeah, so they gave an extension.
So they gave an extension. Like 22, I think it's done at the end of this year. And then 23, say you're like mid of next year. So it's like,
and then 24s are at the end of next year.
It's like, I get it. Trust me. Like, I know it's like, I still had to pay to like go to Texas and like things like that. Like, I know it's a lot, but like, I promise you it was worth it.
Yeah, it's you can't even they do put a price tag on it to go, but you know, type of thing like that.
Well, it sounds like that was a fun time. We'll definitely get Allie on some more forward press trips that we get invited to, so she can make new friends that way. Speaking of friends, we got to see our friends in Texas, Kelly. We went down. We were part of you have the shirt on, the Texas Auto Riders Association.
I'm wearing all the swag, and that was not my intent.
We are. Quit flashing the audience, by the way. Jeez.
I'm wearing a shirt.
There you did it again. But we go down in fall to cover some things. This State Fair of Texas. I always want to say Texas State Fair, but it's actually the State Fair of Texas.
Yes.
And there's always some good press events for trucks there because trucks in Texas go hand in hand. It's the largest market for truck buyers is Texas. And so anything rugged, generally there's some fun to be had there. And of course we got to see the Ram RHO in person, which was kind of neat. And our buddy Tim Estradal, who with a D.
With a D.
He got to see the truck that he's actually bought or trying to buy. He's got one on order, so he was excited by it. And of course, it's always good times to see our press friends and stuff. And of course, Allie got a taste of that, meeting people like you, Mercedes. You got to see Mercedes again, and it part of it's for us is just talking, making contacts within brands, which we're pretty friendly with now, and two is covering things. And one of the biggest things we got to see in person was the new 4Runner, Kelly.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be there. I told you, hey, this is going to be there. We were hoping it was going to be at our press association that we could just do some really good quiet walk-arounds, but we got to see it here, and I did a video on it. I just want to kind of skim through this real quick. I'm going to mute this, but there is the new 4Runner, and I have to say, in person, you know, we did a live stream when this thing was released. It was a big live stream for us. I really at the time I was kind of like, what's it going to be like? Is it going to still feel like a 4Runner? Is it not? You know, Toyota kind of before the Bronco kind of came back in, it was just Toyota and Jeep sort of had this market of, hey, you know, if you want a rugged body on frame SUV, it was a 4Runner or, you know, nothing really. And the next 4Runners came out, and I think you were kind of surprised how much you liked it.
I was quite impressed with the new refresh on it because, like I mentioned in this video, is actually, you know, the Tundra has that massive grill on the front, and I really appreciated how they kind of cut it down a little bit, gave it a new identity, but yet keeping true to its
still
roots.
yeah, there's still some traces of the last generation 4Runner in there. Allie, I know you're a Ford girl, but like, I mean, when you see SUVs like this, I mean, it's gotta push forward in some other manufacturers to go, shit, we got to get back in that market. And I know at the State Fair of Texas, we were invited to it and just couldn't go. They had the Expedition got dropped in a trimmer package for that. So definitely other brands are kind of taking notice. But the one thing about this one to me is the 4-cylinder. I've seen more comments that I want to really talk about of just Toyota faithful hating, and I mean hating on this 4-cylinder, but I think it's a good looking vehicle. It's not ugly to me. Allie, well, I know you're a Ford person, but if you take off your Ford glasses for a minute, kind of give us your impressions of this vehicle. Because you're going to sell them used. You know they're going to be some on your lots used.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? What don't you like about it?
The grill and the lights.
Okay. I mean, they are definitely different. A lot of people call that grill the Fu Manchu, kind of it looks like a lot of people. Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, Toyota is not big in my area.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
so
you're in the heart of Big
to
Three.
say we get them used, we don't at all.
They just kind of sit.
They
go to wholesale, I bet. Yeah.
Like it's not even like a potential trade type of a thing. We'll get more Subarus every once in a while than Toyotas.
Weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we just don't. And like the thing is, like, I know the 4Runners are very popular. I've just, and again, this is just like personally, I've never liked the look of them. And I don't know if it's the body lines or like kind of what it is, but I think it's always kind of looked outdated.
Yeah.
And
well, definitely the last generation was.
And that's the thing. That's probably, I don't know if it's like the look they're going for, but it's just classic to Toyota, and it's just something I haven't been a huge.
Yeah. Well, behind the scenes, this thing was going to be canceled. The 4Runner, even though they sell 200,000 plus a year, that's why we got a Land Cruiser now and the Lexus version. Because Toyota wanted to move on.
No, I'm just kidding.
But Toyota wanted to move on and do some other things, but they sell so many. You look how outdated, because we did a 22. Last one we drove was a 22. Yes. I still think the outside of it looks great, but the interior of the thing was so dated. I mean, it was very early 2010s.
Yeah.
The camera in the thing was just god awful.
So did you say that there's a 4-cylinder in this thing?
Yes, it's so because of emissions and nobody wants
this one specifically a 4-cylinder.
Oh no, it only comes in a 4-cylinder. So, and why that is because of emissions and the way Toyota's battling the emissions issues. You lose cylinders to get your CO2 where it's supposed to be and all that. You lose cylinders, and the way they're making that up is it's a hybrid setup to offer the same power that you would get out of a V6. I'm gonna get a chair. This is driving me nuts.
So my thing is like, why do they have a hood scoop?
It is a fake, and that's even the Toyota faithful have been bitching about this. Like it's fake, and they know it's fake, and they're very upset by this vehicle. I think it's a good looking vehicle. The interior of the thing was really nice. They really finally stepped that one up. But
I mean, if I had the chance to like maybe sit in one, and I might change my mind, type of a thing. But it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and there's Kelly in glasses, who a lot of people commented that they'd never.
I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Kelly, you look like a mom.
It's funny how that works.
Weird.
But if you sat in their Tundras,
okay, they at least have knobs. Everyone complains that like the knobs are going away.
Yeah, no, there's definitely and I will say their switches on it are probably better than the Ford Hero switches. It's a nicer toggle switch. But
it's more substantial.
The Ford one has to be rubberized because it's weather concerns, you know. But one of the biggest takeaways too, if I can find it, is the back of this vehicle is the cargo room. Because this thing being a hybrid setup,
What a terrible shot
I
that
know.
you stopped at.
So as you can see right here, you lose cargo space because that's where the battery pack is.
Yeah.
So, and I put my hand up here in just a second, I think, to show how deep this thing is. I may have went past it. But yeah, you lose a good
it's a full
inches,
palm.
Yeah, 4 inches or plus of actual. But I say in the video, I don't think you would ever notice it, and I really don't. I don't,
because it's just a height situation.
Yeah.
It's not like we're seeing in so many vehicles where there's a step down or step up. They evened it out and used that storage right behind it too.
Yes, but you know, it's a Toyota, so the thing's going to run forever. A lot of people are really nervous by the hybrid setup of this thing, and they've had some. Yeah, there's the height of that.
No, I think more manufacturers need to go the hybrid route instead of the electric route. But that's different.
And please no plug-in hybrids. No plug-in hybrids. Just make it a normal hybrid. But no, I think I mean, obviously it's going to be a home run for Toyota, but the Toyota faithful, Kelly, have the truck has had some transmission issues. The new midsize truck, the full-size truck, the 3.4 that's in it, had some.
Are you telling me more manufacturers actually have recalls and stuff?
Right, and it's not just Ford. What?
I know.
Wild. There's oh my Lord.
Yeah, I think these trucks are being developed so fast now. They just the pipeline is like, I know for Bronco, they're already messing with the next generation Bronco. They're already messing with, F-150, especially like in Ford's case, they've probably already two designs down. Like, all right, here's what we're doing in 2 years. Here's what we're going to do in 4 years. Like, they know that fast.
Well,
but
honestly, I'm sure they're already on like 2030 vehicles.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, YouTube Car Spotter's Guide still better than the Sequoia cargo space. Absolutely 100%. But you don't have a third row.
Yes.
If you had a third row, it wouldn't have any space.
Yeah, and Kelly learned in the Lexus GX 550 that third row kills anything. Like there was,
but you still have the option.
There was about that much cargo room.
There's still the option.
Yeah, you couldn't get your purse back there.
I could get my purse back there.
Ish.
Whatever. It was like this much space. It was the same as the Sequoia.
What are these fishing stories all of a sudden? But I'm curious what you guys think in the comments below.
I wouldn't be sitting in the back seat. YouTube Car Spotter's Guide.
In the comments below, let us know what you guys are, what you're curious about this thing. We have a video up there. If you want to go to our main of the channel, you can find the video. If you haven't watched it yet, we've gotten some good views out of that video, and the Toyota faithful are curious about it, but pissed off about the engine of this thing. Yep. And unfortunately for us, this was a Toyota press event, so we were able to get in it, where a lot of people, like the people that go to the state fair, if it came back, I know it was gone, they were moving it, but any of these vehicles you guys can't get in where we can. But if you can sit in it, it sat nice. The truck sits nice.
I think it looks really angry.
It does.
And I'm here for it.
You kind of want that in an off-road vehicle, though. You don't want some happy-looking off-road vehicle.
No.
But yes, no, it's definitely angry. But if you were a turbocharged hybrid, you might be angry too. So we'll leave it at that. But in the comments, let us know what you think about that. We're definitely going to be talking more Toyota and other brands down the line. So quick mention of that is, like, you're going to start seeing a lot of 4-cylinders, turbos. So thing you have to realize is that numbers going down is not always a bad thing, because we have seen some great performance from some of these lower cylinder turbo vehicles. So just all I'm saying is give it a chance. You just don't know. Looks like a carp. But just give it a chance, because it's no longer a 6-cylinder, those types of things. Like, for example, the TRX going away broke my heart, but then I realized the Hurricane was in it, or Hurricane is in the new RHO, and I'm hugely impressed with the Hurricane. So just kind of keep that in mind, folks, that just because those things are kind of going away doesn't mean that there aren't some great things out there from that perspective. Yeah. And I mean, unfortunately, I think the 2.7 goes away in the Bronco soon. I really do. I think that Ford's going to bring the same thing out. They've got the 2.3 higher. If you want the 2.3, and they'll have a 2.3 hybrid, and that's what you're going to get. And because they have to lose cylinders, they just have to. So that's why there's no more V8s anymore. And pretty soon we're all going to have 1-cylinder vehicles and a big battery pack behind it. which kind of stinks. But and it's not in the comments. Please do not come after us. I get more bullshit in these comments about hybrids and shit. Like I'm pro hybrid. Like I'm the guy in the industry that
Right.
was decided this is how it was going to be.
And you're an advocate.
Well, obviously, you decided all of it, so you should probably stop.
I mean, I know.
Yes.
I mean, obviously.
Yes. Next up is we're going to talk about a douchebag, and his name is Jack Doherty. And if your kids watch any kind of YouTube, he's a little prankster YouTuber that's just a douchebag, and he makes money off being a douchebag. And well, this particular one, he's going to pay now because he was driving his McLaren. And this came up, and I'm stealing somebody else's video because I don't really want to search for it. But he was live streaming as they were driving on a rainy day, as you can see right here, and he lost control, put the car into a
It's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. Put the car into a guardrail, totaled the car, I'm sure. And
the front end was missing. Of course it's totaled.
Well, it's a McLaren too, so it's stupid expensive. So here's the car into the guardrail. Now, this dude's such a douchebag, and he's only like 22, 24, somewhere in there. And he's been famous since he was like 10. So he's really learned nothing about life, and he's just people give me money for being a douchebag. But his buddy that was filming him got injured badly, and his head was gashed open. And I'm not playing the audio from this because I don't want it copyrighted. But he right there, he told him to hold the camera. His dude, I don't know if it shows the clip. I mean, it's cut. And he's telling this dude who's got blood all over his face, hey, hold the camera for me. And right here, you can see he's trying to pose for thumbnails. Like you'll see the way he does in just a minute. It's all, if you heard the audio, it's all this fake bullshit of like, oh no, I've totaled my car. And see this fake head scratching. And he's being called out by all these other YouTubers. But he's trying to do thumbnails. See how he's posing? So they can screen capture thumbnails on this douchebag. And the funny thing is, he was live streaming. So insurance is not going to cover this. Now, the kid's got enough money that it's not it probably sucks for him, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. But there's this is in Florida, and there's cops there, and he lied to the cops at the scene.
About what?
That he was texting and driving, and it's on video of him doing it. He was live streaming it, so it recorded, and you can see him not looking at the road at all. He's reading in comments, and that's when he hydroplanes and puts the car in there. But I thought it was funny that the dude, like, we've all texted and drove a little bit. But we don't go into
doesn't mean it's the smart thing to do.
Don't go into full-blown live streams and you got a cameraman and all this stuff, and the cameraman could have read the comments to him.
And which is what we do when we're we're live streaming, is that I sit there and typically read the comments while he's driving. But
we don't do it like this.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I'm amazed at how
he's lucky he didn't kill somebody too.
Oh, 100%. But it'll show up, the airbags and stuff go off. I mean, the car's totaled. And the paint job just says douchebag for one. Like, this is
so judgmental.
Oh no, this dude's getting ripped up by his own peers. But I'm amazed, like, his cameraman's sitting there bleeding while he's filming this, and clearly this kid didn't get hurt. And it's just another, look, oh, I'm getting my phone, and he tells the cops when they roll up, oh, I just hydroplaned.
It almost looks like his friend's blood is on his face.
Probably
I'll find. I've got to find something better on this. But Kelly, where are you at? Like, you don't follow a lot of these little YouTubers, and I don't really follow them, but I hear this bullshit. Like the kids that are making so much money off of just tearing up cars. There was the one guy in Pennsylvania, I forget he pissed me off because when the TRX came out, Ram went out of their way to get him one. And a day later, he set it on fire. He jumped it, crashed it. He crashed it not on purpose, but then he was trying to act like, oh yeah, I was just being cool. And they set it on fire. They tore this vehicle up, and it pissed me off because people at Ram thought, okay, we're giving this influencer a car to help promote our vehicle.
Right.
And then they just, all these little dudes just do this. It pisses me off to no end, man.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's a bad example for our kids that are coming up too, is thinking that is, you know, the behavior, that's how you act, that's how you do all the things. And, you know, it shows it. It's the other version of if it bleeds, it leads, because essentially is what's happening here, because you're talking about it. You would have never talked about this kid. So it's kind of proof in the pudding of what's happening here, is that his stupidity has shown other people to show it off and things like that. So to me, I think it's dumb. I think he's did something super stupid. And yeah, I don't agree that he should have ever, you know, been doing what he was doing, and to continue to make a bad decision in the situation to see what he could do from a content perspective is idiocracy.
I don't know what that means, but there's his buddy cut, nose is gashed. There's a bad cut across his face. And this, he hands, after they get out of the car, instead of caring about his friend that was in the car with him, he shoves a camera in his hand and is like, film me. And that somebody, one of the big YouTubers, Penguin something zero, was talking about it. He's like, this dude could sue him.
Yeah.
Like, and own his ass.
Yeah.
But this is the same kid that gets away with, he'll have this big security guard that comes with him, and he'll push people in the mall, and they'll like just hit him in the back and run behind his security guard. And the security guard's like, let's go. You want to fight? And like, I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't get this culture of it's cool to be
jerks.
Yeah. Jerks like that. And so I kind of wanted to get, I wanted you guys to see that, and curious what you
I saw it on TikTok like 2 nights ago, and I was just like, I kind of scrolled past it. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, is like, I don't tend to follow stupid people. I love you. I'm married to one. I'm just kidding. So I don't tend to like, I don't get sucked into that, because I just think they're idiots, and I hate, and I'll soapbox for a second. Like, I hate that people doing stupid things pays their bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've got to do super stupid things to get attention these days. You can't just be a good person and do all the things right and, you know, try to look out for people. It has to be something you did really stupid that somebody's going to watch or do, or things like that. And I do hate it for the next generation, that they're trying to figure out and navigate through life on how they do things. And there's no guidebook now in this all social media kind of thing. And yeah, like Rob Hallmark says, too old for that. I'm too old for that too. Like, I think it's the dumbest thing ever that these kids are, you know, as stupid as they are.
Yeah. What's funny was, so during the video, the clip I watched, he takes his shirt off. Like, what? I don't know what that does for you in this. If paramedics weren't there, like checking him over, he just all of a sudden starts taking his shirt off. And, you know, it's not like he's some muscly bound dude that's just like, oh man. No, Stunt Dave, I did stupid stuff just to do stupid stuff, not to do that. But so he was kicked off of Kick. YouTube should ban him too, because like, you keep allowing these idiots.
We appreciate that, YouTube Car Spotters Guide.
But YouTube should take care of this, because there was last weekend a YouTuber got killed. He was in a new Corvette, did something stupid, rolled it, killed. Another one this week got hurt. And they're buying these vehicles that they don't understand and they don't pay respect to. And a McLaren, which is a pretty easy driving car, it's not like some old Lamborghini where you better been a damn race car driver to understand how to operate it. It's an easy car to drive, and this guy could have gotten people killed. Like, he didn't hit anybody, luckily. He slid, he went across traffic when he hydroplaned, and you know, and he'll get a spanking on the wrist. I hope Florida does something about it, revokes his license or something. Make a point that younger kids need to know that, you know, there's a place to be stupid, and this guy's got FU money, so he could go rent a race course out if he wants to just go be stupid and hurt himself. But no, when you do it in public like this, you give everybody in the industry a bad name, from auto journalists on down to wannabe social media people like this guy. You just fuck it up for everybody. And it really pisses me off that you know, this is how people get clout now. This is how they, you know.
That's all I gotta do. Damn.
Yeah, just go start wrecking.
Yeah, you know.
Wrecking
No,
your
because
farm.
it'll be like anything else, Allie. The good people do something bad one time and it doesn't come back.
Yeah. Next thing you know, this guy will find out he was hanging out with Diddy.
Done.
Now you just canceled yourself.
So
Unbridled Bronco, good point. Thanks, Bam Margera, for this genre. Started in the 90s, the skateboard videos, prank.
Yeah,
it took off with Jackass and just continued to infest media through generations. I was thinking the same thing. That's exactly what I thought of when Dave started bringing this kid up. It's like, it's totally like Jackass. Mm-hmm. Let's see how stupid we can be and not kill ourselves in the process.
Yeah, but in most cases, they did it on private closed courses.
But still, it's the stupidity of it that, like, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
So Unbridled Bronco earlier was asking, how did we get into off-roading?
Yes, I have that.
I wanted to bring that up. Frank B in the house.
Yeah.
I see his thank you, sir.
Thank you for that super chat. Nice to be back. We're glad to have you back. Thank you.
Yeah. Moderator.
I'll come back to that in a second. I just want to make sure that no one else.
Mobile's talking about OnlyFans.
I'd go on a race course with a Lambo 4 GT Ferrari.
That's a weird brand of car.
I know. I was just thinking that. Okay. Yeah. Deal me in 2024. It's all about the Benjamins and they'll continue to do it. Yeah. It's absolutely all about the money.
Put this kid in jail.
Yeah.
Give him 4 weeks in jail or something for endangerment, traffic. I seen his speedo. I will say this, he wasn't going out. He was only doing like 55 miles an hour, but he's literally looking down you can see it in that picture right there. He's just looking down the whole time.
Yeah.
So anyways, we won't go on. Well, I'm too old for that conversation really, but I wanted to bring it up. New format of the show. We're going to talk about some stupid shit like this from time to time. So Jess, we were talking about how, Allie was talking about what got her into off-roading. She thought we were a bunch of dumb rednecks. I know what she was thinking. That just go mudding.
Obviously.
But so me personally, I got into it because I'm a land surveyor and I had to learn how to do it because of 25 years of being a land surveyor. I used to have to travel old logging roads, and guess what? It was either walk a couple miles back there or learn to drive a vehicle to get back there. And I chose to learn, and I learned on a 2-wheel drive. And I used to do some extreme shit that you would never do in the 4-wheel drive. In a 2-wheel drive, you'd be at the bottom of the hill, you see a rock there, rock over here in the trail, 5-speed manual transmission. You're like, I tell my buddy Gavin, hang on. And it was bounce, bounce, bounce. No, don't go backwards. Okay, we got grip. Go up like a couple times. Scared Jonathan, JK, many times. So for me, it wasn't like I was a high school kid that was like, I was a street kid. I wanted to race cars. It wasn't like off-roading when I was
a young
not be
kid. Like that kid.
Yeah, no, not be a douchebag. I was a douchebag in my own ways. I was a musician. But I from land surveying, and a friend of ours came back into my life. A high school buddy came back into my life, and we were riding. My son was riding in his Jeep, and he had a CB radio. And this would have been like 2007 or so, maybe later. No, it was around then because the tornado came through. Mm-hmm. And I just bought a used Xterra 4-wheel drive. And because I told you, I was like, we're not owning anything but 4-wheel drives now because we had bad storms come through, like what's going through Florida right now. And I wanted to make sure we had a vehicle that could get us out in case we needed it. And so my son saw the CB. Of course, I grew up with CBs. My dad had one in every truck. And so it wasn't like some fancy thing to me, but my son saw it and he's like, what is that? And so he got to play, the whole here's semi-truckers driving down and talking to him stuff. And he was fascinated by it. And I had this Xterra and I was like, well, I should put a CB in my Xterra just because the kiddo has fun with it. And I found a forum. Well, I didn't realize at the time that they were modifying Nissan Xterras and building them up into big off-road vehicles. And once I found that, I was like, oh shit, man, I want to build me a big rig. And even though
I didn't know that was going to happen when it came home,
but I've been doing it for, at the time, 20 years before this, or 17, 18 years before this. I just never thought of like owning a vehicle and doing it for fun because I did it for work. And then, so I started modifying this Xterra and she's like, why are you taking a saw to it?
Yeah. Why are you cutting on it?
I was like, because we're going to make it better. And I've got a picture of Sydney, who was up here in the seat of one of my off-road vehicles when I start cutting it up. She's on the steering wheel, a little toddler, grabbing the steering wheel, having fun. And got Kelly to go to one trip, and she wouldn't go back for a long time.
Nope.
Because I did some off-camber stuff, just in a rut. It wasn't, looking back, it wasn't bad, what you know now.
But it felt like it.
Yeah. And Kelly came from the background of like, we don't modify these things and we don't take them off pavement.
Yeah. When he started cutting, I said, what are you doing? He says, we're going to make it better. And I said, we don't cut on things to make them better. And he said, we will. And I said, I think you're stupid.
She did. Totally.
And
totally called me out. We don't modify them. We don't do these things.
Yeah. And he kept buying things.
Is that when you realized, like, shit, I kind of married a dumb redneck? I know it is. I know it is. Because you're like, wait, he had a little street car before. What is this?
Maybe.
But, and Kelly wouldn't go with me for almost a year. And finally you went to Windrock with me. And I had a different Xterra at the time. Very capable truck.
Well, before you get there, the reason I stopped going is because we literally,
we were
at the bottom of a hill, and the guy comes over the CB and says, okay, you've got to give it if you're going to make it up here. Not some good words for somebody who's kind of freaking out in the passenger seat. And so he goes, and then you hear, oh man. And so we're literally, the truck is like this. Now, granted, again, hindsight, we're safe, we're fine. But at the time, when I could roll down my window and touch the ground, that's a problem. Like, that's where we were with this situation. And so I pretty much told him, I was like, take me home. We're never going back. You will do your own thing. I'm set. I'm not doing anything more. And then, so about a year later, our daughter he wanted to go on something. He's like, it's not going to be like what we did before. It'll be fine. It'll be a lot easier. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. And took our daughter, and literally, like, we're wheeling. She's having a great time. She's probably 3 at the time or something like that in the back seat, and just having a great experience. And
this was that Xterra, the first one.
Yeah, that was the first Xterra. And then a couple years later, I still wasn't going much, but a couple years later, he's like, hey, I need to move up the trail. I need you to drive it up the trail. This is just like a dirt road. It's fine right now. And I was like, I don't like this. And he's like, it'll be fine. And so I move it up the trail, and then I never got out of the driver's seat again.
No, because I knew if I could get you, because most people for off-roading, most people off-roading, it's a control issue. And if you're in the passenger seat, it's not as comfortable because you're not in control. You don't know what's going on. And yeah, I just kept for you, moving you forward, getting you to move forward. And you go, I'll never forget, you go, well, I could fall off this hill. What should I do? I said, see the guy in front of you, just follow him. I said, if he falls off the hill, don't follow him.
Which came back to bite me a little later on. For those that have been around a while, have heard this story. But we were literally at an off-road event we used to put on, and I was driving my Xterra that I ended up getting. Yes, David manipulated his wife. Absolutely. And was driving my truck, and one of our really great friends now, but at the time we were on a night trail, and he's like going up, and I lost him for a minute. Well, I ended up finding him, and I'm climbing this shelf. For those that have been to Windrock, it was 22, bunch of shelving. And all of a sudden I lost the guy in front of me, and I'm coming over the CB. It was like, I need some help here. And one of our friends, Luke, his wife, Jenna, comes down and goes, how did you get here? I said, I followed Aaron. And she said, why do you follow Aaron? That was the worst idea you could have ever made. I said, nobody told me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started learning how to do things myself and kind of guide. And he's guided me very well to kind of figure it out, which in turn I've learned along the way of how to trail drive. But off-rodeo, I have learned a ton at off-rodeo too.
And this was our Jeep that we shortly had. Couldn't wait to get rid of this piece of shit.
Yeah, it was.
This thing I had to fill up 3 times to get from Nashville to Windrock, which is only 200 miles. It was so poorly geared and just awful thing. But yeah, so I once I got into the Xterra world, I started an off-road event, which kind of kept the fun going. And then I needed brains to help me operate. So Kelly came in the next year, and then you got the itch for your own Xterra, which was great for me, because then we have she wanted the newer one, the Gen 2 of that vehicle. Oh, here's the this was your first. I don't have that.
Why don't you have the picture?
Because Luke sent it to me. But yeah, this was the first time trails that Kelly got to go on at Windrock, and nothing ridiculous. Like I'm stupid happy taking this thing out there.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It was this time of year. It was October.
It was.
And nothing crazy, but our Jeep friends were amazed because I had street ATs, like Michelin ATs on this thing, and those little Xteras could rip. Like you could high rev those things, where like the old Jeeps with their 4 liters at the time could not. Their 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs was all they had. This Xterra, you could hit 7,000 RPMs, and for mud, oh man, you could just rip it up.
Absolute truth to that story. Kelly could have her own, and then Dave cut a hole in it.
Damn it, Mark.
He absolutely did. He did actually cut a hole in it and put a snorkel in my truck that I did not want. And I still, when we sold it, did not want the snorkel that was put on my truck. And here's the kicker. He cut a hole in it, but then never hooked it up the way that it was supposed to be either.
I just wanted
so really it was just for aesthetics.
Because
it was the ugliest fucking thing on the side of the truck.
No, it looked great.
It was terrible.
See if I can find a picture of
It was awful.
It looked great. And people always, fun thing, especially on an Xterra with snorkels, you will get people like crazy asking you like, hey, what is that for?
Keep looking. Hypermotive Racing says All Terrain Nation, that cheesing was practice for thumbnails.
Damn right. Damn right it was.
So funny thing is, while he's looking for this, like Allie got to experience this where I had to have her take some selfies for us this week or last week because I am not good at selfies at all. Like, and so I was like, I said, we need to get a selfie. And she's like, okay. I was like, can you take it though? Because I'm really bad at taking selfies.
Yeah, we did a video on your Xterra. We took it. One of my first actual videos I ever produced was there. Damn it, I just saw there she is. I was like, I just saw this thing. So this was Kelly's Xterra that we built. Very capable on just 33-inch tires. It was very capable. Kelly, you learned to wheel really on that vehicle.
Yeah.
It was that was one of those for you that was really sad to let it go because you'd done a lot of the work yourself. Because I told
Francine was my baby.
I told you, hey, you need to learn how to do this.
Well, and I also was always like that. Like growing up, I always wanted to know how to do things. I was never let somebody do it for me because I needed to know how it worked. And I'm a technical person like that I have to understand why and how things work.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that all came to be.
This is me and my late brother putting the bumper on it, which was fun. There's the bumper, which sagged the front end. We had to put new coils under because it sagged it. And then we were having some fun with graphics and stuff. No, that was a fun little vehicle. And that's kind of what got Kelly going in this stuff. And I think it was great that you didn't jump into like a Jeep and just get the most extreme thing. We could have built the most extreme thing. You've had to learn on things that aren't intended to do what we were doing to them.
Well, and that's a big reason why we preach to people, like even when they do get a Bronco or they get something new, is like people will ask, what are the first things I should do to it? Do the aesthetics thing. If you really are needing to do something, modify your vehicle in some way, do the aesthetic things, do the practical things. Like if you feel like you need extra cup holders, contact IAG, like all the things, like do the things that make sense.
Yeah. And this was literally the day that you started driving. And this is what I did to her. I was like, hey, just pull it up here. And what was going through your head at this time?
I was fake smiling and I was like, I hate you right now.
Really?
Shit.
100%. Because I didn't drive your truck very often. And so I wasn't completely comfortable behind the wheel on it. And 2, I really never drove your vehicle off-road. So I was not comfortable with it whatsoever. Yeah. So I was pulling it up and making the most of it, but it was definitely,
But I beat the poor piss out of the pretty butt. The guy, I bought this from a guy. I sold the Jeep that I had that I showed you a little bit ago. I sold it and found this on Craigslist. It had 170 or 80,000 miles. It had a lot of miles on it, but I knew I could fix it. Anything went wrong, I could work on this thing and fix it. And the guy, it was like showroom new, Allie. Like you wouldn't believe for a 200,000 mile vehicle, everything was completely
He commuted it to Nashville, 40, 50 miles each way. And so he would just drive it to Nashville.
He goes so what are you going to do with this thing? I said, I'm going to make it a monster truck. And he kind of thought, I think he thought, yeah, I think he thought that I was lying. And no, he ended up like, I built the bumpers and, oh, well, not the front bumper. That was from RLC. But then I stupidly bedlined it and then painted it tan, made it pretty awful. And
yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly as sin. Mine was on the right. Can you tell?
Yeah. But oh, we had a lot of fun, and then I solid axled the thing. So that's an axle out of a Wagoneer from the 80s, and there it is. Solid. No, it's not solid axle. There.
That's rattle canned right there.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I learned to weld a lot right before this, so I got to.
I learned to weld too,
and I got to do a lot of work myself on this thing. Doing this, I learned a lot of better pictures than all this. Bullshit. We were poor. Yes, we were very poor here. Very, very poor.
So like that's why all this had to be done by ourselves, because we did not have the money to do the things. And all these parts were like pull aparts or like buying from somebody who was getting rid of their vehicles. And in those that don't know the Nissan world, there's not a lot of aftermarket support for it. And so that's why you'll hear from us when we say support local, support those that support your clubs and things like that, because there's a reason those companies are in business, is because they supported maybe the underdogs when it started. Maybe a vehicle they didn't know, but it takes R&D and things like that, because they were the first guys out there to do things like that. So definitely that's why you'll hear us big proponents of that, and say, hey, small shops. So supporting those that support your clubs, your all the things. But yeah, YouTube Car Spotters Guide, take it out first and see what mods to do. And that's exactly what we did.
And what's funny is this picture here was, we sold our house, and this is how it looked before we sold our house, and I had to get this thing out of here. So I had to rapidly get this thing fixed. And like I said, there, I got the.
We literally had to roll it under the truck.
This right there, I was so happy that I got the axle and everything by myself. Did all this
lined up,
and I called Kelly. I was so excited, and she's like, "Well, wait till we get," because I had to get out of the garage because we had to clean the garage out just because we sold the house. And I rolled that. I was so happy. I was pushing this thing out by myself, going, "Oh shit, I don't have brakes on this thing. Please don't roll too far." But that's kind of our, we'll end on that. That's kind of our little story into off-roading, and you'll hear more about it down the road. But yeah. So we
and there was a stint there where Dave was making light bars and selling those, just kind of manufacturing them. So that's where kind of his welding started. And then we would have orders that we had to get out, and he couldn't get to it or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but then I started welding and grinding and doing all the things. So we've done a little bit of everything. We ran an off-road event for 10 years. When it was all said and done, the only year we took off was 2020 because it was COVID year. But so we've done quite a bit. Yeah. We've still got a lot more to go, and that's why we're here to kind of cover all the things.
That's what led us into really the auto world as well. This is funny. This is like Broncos. You put 35s under them, no problems. This is 35s under that little Xterra, and it was chopping all kinds of
lots of cutting.
Yeah, lots of fun.
But yeah, that was a 30-minute conversation about how we got in. So
there you go. Any questions, comments on the auto industry? Like I said, the new show here, we're going to talk a little bit of everything. We're going to still cover the Ford brand pretty heavily because we're pretty connected to it. But Allie, any word on 25 Broncos yet?
Anything you can talk about? No.
Still crickets over there.
Not a thing.
I know they're supposedly building 24s all the way into December. So we're back to 2021, the way they want to do these things.
Yep. YouTube Car Spotters Guide. Good call out. If you have not liked it, please like. And if you want to get alerts when we talk and you've not subscribed, please do so.
Yes.
Definitely. And share with your friends.
What was the periscope? It was a snorkel, man. Come on. You guys sell snorkels now. I don't want to hear about it.
He actually said, hey, you need one for your Raptor? I think I know one. No, we're good. We appreciate it, though.
No, I don't like the billboard as is, the Everglades, so I don't want to add that ugly
stuff. I literally have like 3 days to decide what to do with Bucky.
Oh, yeah, so let's end on that. So Allie, you
what do you want? Wait, hold on. Does she want to talk about it?
We're not going to.
I haven't made a decision yet.
Okay.
But Allie, you leased your Bronco, right?
I did.
Because you were before Broncos. You got serious about them. You just releasing vehicles when you miles on them and move on to the next one. But so you modified Bucky. You've kind of made her your own, and a lot of
Him or her, or is there really not?
Or is it a
I don't know. Bucky. Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just got a name, Kelly.
I didn't know. I was just, you were assuming it was actually.
But yeah, so it's for you. This vehicle's got to be a little special because it's probably the first vehicle you've modified, right?
Yeah, I've never modified a vehicle before, like ever. Like,
How's that feel?
like
How's
I'm
your bank
eating
account
my
like
own
that?
words.
How's your bank account like that?
I don't want to talk about that right now. I mean, I'm very lucky in the position that I'm in, that I've worked out a couple of, like, I've still paid. The only thing I have not paid for is my bus stop. And that's because
you were prototyping that, right?
Yeah, they reached out to me and it was a prototype, and it's still the prototype. Like, I had no issues with mine, so I didn't care to switch it out. I have worked out a deal with them if I do a new Bronco. So I will still have the Skyrider, which is really awesome. And I know I've talked to IAG about some things, and I know that they will treat me really well because we have a good working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Bronco that I built came in on Wednesday.
Right before she flew out.
Right before I flew out, like, my manager texted me. I'm sitting on the plane saying, "Hey, your Bronco's here," and I'm like, "Haha, F you, no, it's not," because he always messes with me. So, like, I never know when he is telling the truth. And so I checked the tracking, and sure as shit, it dropped off at the dealer. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, all right, cool. So the Bronco is there. Bucky is still in my driveway. I did run a F-150. So, yeah.
And you've liked full-size trucks before.
Yeah.
I love the F-Series. I do miss having an F-150, which is why I did run the numbers on one, just because I'm like, I do love it. I mean, I don't find myself going out of Bronco community.
Yeah.
I think I would miss it too much. I think I would have major FOMO, as I was like almost in tears, like going to the airport the other day, and it was over a stupid a couple of hours type of a thing. But my buyout isn't awful on Bucky. Rates are awful right now.
Trust
on
me.
Used cars.
I bought how many cars from you now? Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, we get it.
Used cars and high miles are not in my favor.
So fill us in quickly how that works for if you decide to buy out your lease.
So you have a set price from Ford. A dealer cannot touch it, and you cannot negotiate it. I love the people that try and call and negotiate. It's not the way this works. You still owe that money to Ford regardless of the market. So everybody who was like buying and flipping their leases, guess what? Ford didn't make that money. So you don't get to negotiate that. So my buyout isn't awful on a Badlands. I think it's like 33 or 34 on a vehicle I've already paid on for 3 years. Which is, I think, pretty average for what you should almost owe on it. So, like, loan to value, it's not bad. What's bad is I have 65,000 miles on it. I'm going to have to buy a warranty. I'm already out of warranty, so that's going to cost a pretty penny. So, to me, it's hard not to just start.
Other than, though, it being, like, sentimental. Like, if you were to weigh it out, and I'm not pushing you one way or the other, but other than, like, I understand the vehicle being very sentimental to you.
This is 100% a sentimental purchase.
Yeah, and other than that, like,
it is 100 and it's 7,000% because that car means so much to me.
Yeah.
I would be very dumb to buy it out.
Right. So the smart play would be just to buy you or
one.
lease another one and move your modifications over to that. But I get it.
And here's the thing, like with it, like in my job, it's very hard for me not to have a new model year to show what Ford has done, to show all of that, which is why on average, I traded my truck in every year and a half, if that.
Yeah.
Like I was constantly getting into something new. Like I had no sentimental ties. Like the only truck I truly miss to this day that I almost bought when it came back was my truck before Bucky. Because I did build that one before building was really a thing. It came in right near my birthday, so that was like my birthday gift to myself. That was kind of like I bought the house. I was like settled in my career. I thought everything was good, and that was just like my dream truck. So I built it. It was a Lariat. So I'm like, cool.
Dave knows what that's like to get a birthday present, but his gets stolen.
That's okay.
And then
but that's the thing, like, yeah, I just have to figure it out. So
yeah, well, we'll be curious to follow along with that one because, like you said, you've got to make a decision really soon. So, like I said, smart money says get the next one, move on. But I 100% understand why you wouldn't. We would still, if Alcione Ford did not make us such a great deal on the Raptor, like our Bronco was not going anywhere.
Well, it's funny because Allie and I've already told Dave this, but Allie and I had a conversation about this. It's like, what would I do when we sell the Raptor? Like, because I
don't see you not having a Bronco now.
No, I mean we're kind of locked into the community at this point because
even though,
and not just the community, but the vehicles are good.
Yeah, we have to cover everything, but you know, as all my auto journalist friends do, there's certain vehicles they buy, and there's certain ones that they just like. There's, you know, I'm not loyal to any brand, and I think changing this show kind of proves that I'm willing to you know not suck off the Ford teat, as it were, but like I just like the product they're making right now. And I showed, you know, the Nissan Xterra. Had Nissan built a third generation of that Xterra, I love that little truck. And we probably would have bought another one if they had done it, but they refused to stay in the you know, building those vehicles, which caused us to look at, we probably, if Ford didn't make the Bronco, I bet we would have looked at a Wrangler and probably enjoyed the Wrangler. I mean, you know, we've drove many of them. It's not like they're awful vehicles, but I think the Bronco for what it is and what you get is a better vehicle all the way around. And maybe some other brand comes out, maybe the 4Runner, because I've talked about buying a 4Runner down the road. Maybe we get that and we're like, holy shit, this is just so much better. I don't see it being that way, but for me, it's I've lost the sentimental of vehicles. When I had a repossession of one, the white one, the Xterra you saw, that was my baby. That was my baby, Allie. Like you're talking about, I did all my adventures in that vehicle. I put a lot of miles on it. You know, me and the kids went out and adventured in that. And when I lost that one due to a repossession, like that just killed me. When the
because he lost his job in 2009, and then we found out we were pregnant with our daughter.
Yeah, it was like keep a house or a car.
Yeah, it was either keep the house or keep a car, and the car had to go.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing too, because like, if I get a new Bronco, this will be the last Bronco Maya's in.
Yeah.
So it's like,
which is kind of push you to a new one a little bit. So at least you get to go have some adventures with the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if I do, so the new one does have Sasquatch. I have talked to JJ and Adam, just saying, hey, do y'all have dog ramps? Because little Miss Maya Pants cannot jump in a Sasquatch one.
Yeah.
Granted, it's only a little bit bigger, but she's already struggling, and I don't want to put that stress on her.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You want to give her the most comfort you can.
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's a lot of like, do I like start over on a rebuild? Because like I can't. So I ordered an Azure Gray one, and it's like teal doesn't go with Azure Gray, so I have to think of like a new concept.
The problems, first world problems here.
I know.
I haven't come up with a name for our Raptor, and I also haven't.
And people asking us like crazy.
Yes.
What's the name?
We're working on it. Dave and I talked. Well, Allie and you and I talked about this because Dave and I talked about this. Was like I'm struggling to come up with a name because it's the same vehicle I've been driving with some muscles. you know, so like it's not a completely different vehicle. So I'm not getting a totally different feel when I'm driving.
It's Rebecca with a boob job. That's what you're saying. That's what it
I
sounds
said
like.
muscles.
Okay.
I
I'm
didn't
just saying that's what it sounded like to me.
I did consider Douglas Blair naming her Rebecca, but then you just can't. No, like she can't.
Rebecca.
She's got.
In Mother Russia.
That's hilarious. I did consider of like different spellings and things like that, but historically we have a differentiating big difference between like the names and things like that. So it hasn't come to us yet, but it's coming.
And that's the thing. I named it Bucky just because like I've never named a car and like everybody was naming their Bronco. I'm like, F it, you know?
Rap Becca. Yeah. But I will say Rap Becca would be pretty fitting because she has some sound in her.
She is a boss bitch now.
And she is a boss bitch now for sure.
Bitch. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't like. I'm so torn. Like it's like my manager even asked me today. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like
he wants it off his lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Buck. Somebody asked about the Explorer versus.
Yeah, so Ford Enthusiast says, "How roomy is the Bronco compared to an Explorer?" They're different platforms, so there's some different space there for sure.
I mean,
there's different space, but I feel like the Explorer is a little bit bigger, but not by much.
Yeah. It's not like it's an Expedition.
Yeah.
You're not going to that extra kind of thing. So it's really just what you're looking for in a vehicle itself. If you want the off-road capability, because the Explorer is somewhat capable, but is definitely nowhere near what the Bronco is. We did have a guy that off-roaded with us years and years and years ago, the green Explorer. And
he went everywhere I did.
He kept up. He had fun with us. But it's a different experience for sure. And you can't take the top off the Explorer either. So something to kind of think about.
When we were on our press event, we got to drive several things, and Ineos Grenadier might be in the driveway soon. So you might see something fun with that. Not
from an ownership perspective. Don't freak out, folks.
No, I would not own that thing. And it's not because I think it's a pile of crap. That's not for me. It doesn't do anything for me, but I would like to explore it and drive it. And we got to the Trial Master, which Kelly thought was the Trail Master.
Which makes sense.
Well, yeah. The Trial Master, we get to see the little truck version of that thing, and kind of goofy, kind of Gladiator-like. Though I think the Gladiator looks much better, me personally. So that's kind of fun. We got some fun things coming. We got some cool press vehicles coming up.
But what's cool about the Grenadier is that it's like the way that it was done and manufactured is like a no F's given of like what
no
people really kind of think.
Yeah, we want this is what I want.
This is what I want. This is what I'm going to build. And the guy was like, let's put it out there and see if somebody else wants to buy it. So that's really kind of what the Grenadier is. And so it's definitely going to be interesting to get some time in that to feel it out, because it very much reminds me of going on an African safari.
Oh,
that's what the vehicle reminds me of.
It's definitely a Land Cruiser or a Land Rover. The wagon does. I will say the wagon's better, and then you don't have to pay the chicken tax, because you have to pay the chicken tax.
Yeah, on the truck you do.
The truck, and it's over $100,000.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, not for. Honestly, it doesn't have that much more room than a Gladiator, and you can get a Gladiator for 40s, pretty loaded. So why would I spend, almost 55% more?
So, Allie, when do you need to make a decision by? Like yesterday? Like Wednesday of last week?
On a plane.
Friday.
So to wrap up how that process works, I know we talked about, you have to make the decision and the amount is the amount. So do you have to finance through Ford Credit, or can you finance through a third party? Or how does
if I buy Bucky, I can finance it through whoever. It doesn't have to be Ford Credit or anything. But if I do another lease, it'll be through Ford Credit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We have to make our first payment coming up.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is coming.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the paperwork from them, though.
Are we really?
Yeah. Still waiting for our little payment thingies.
Do we get those old school books? Where you tear out.
No,
the
you
little
won't. We
coupons
won't
and-
get a book, but we'll get a like preview of like, here's what it looks like if you don't.
I remember getting those books, and this is dating myself because they don't do these anymore. But the little payment books, and you'd be like, I remember my first car payment as a kid going, I have to make all these. Like, it was like,
oh Lord.
because you say 60 months or whatever, you're like 60 months is nothing. And then you see it in paper form, you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the comments below, if you're made it this far, let us know, since we're open to everything now. Let us know, and we're gonna torture Allie with other brands because she's gonna be like, what the fuck are we talking about?
She's gonna be like, hey, what are we talking about tonight? Sorry guys, I can't be on.
A douchebag with a McLaren. What does that got to do with anything? But
I don't know,
what
I'm
did you
still gonna stick with my statement that Toyotas are ugly. So
hey man, there's a seat for every butt.
Yep.
So in the comments below, let us know what you think about this thing. And so whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
or any of these badass vehicles you like to drive, this has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
I'm Kelly Boyd.
peace.
She's Allie Du Bois.
And we're out. Peace, everybody.
See ya.